Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Live with the CHOQTOR, the first one in a while. Good to see some folks already here. And for those of y'all who don't know, I'm sure you guys all do, but in case you don't, my name is Dr. Matt Dorsey. I am a doctor of acupuncture and Chinese medicine. I am the Chief Scientific Officer of CHOQ. I'm also the formulator. And for lack of a better term, I am the resident herb and nutrition geek. Yes, excellent to see so many faces here, many of them familiar, a few of them not. So here's the deal. I actually figured out that I had some technical issues because I was using a VPN, and I realized I had to turn my VPN off. So apparently it was not Google/YouTube getting mad at me for talking about transhumanism with my Stay Human transmission. That was not what was going on. Although, you know, that was one of the theories I heard going on in the Telegram group. But no, that's not what's happening. It was a technical issue, and we figured it all out. But of course, I am wearing my Make Orwell Fiction Again shirt today, which I thought maybe many of you guys might appreciate. And yeah, so. Wow, we got a lot of folks here already. I'm guessing that the email blast probably didn't hurt. And also the fact that we're going to be giving away double prizes today. So prize number one will be 2 CHOQ products of any kind. And prize number 2 will be cacao beans, organic t-shirt, and an extra CHOQ product. So extra giveaways today. Make sure you stay tuned for that. They will be at semi-random times, although, you know, not that random. I'm fairly predictable with all this stuff. But yeah, it's really good to be back. We'll be back daily, Monday through Friday. I was gone for a little while. I was actually in Las Vegas with some of the CHOQ team. There's a huge expo there called Supply Side West. And basically it's all of the different suppliers who make herbs, nutrients, everything like that. And so I was like scoping out, trying to see what new cool stuff I could find for future CHOQ products. And a little hint for you guys, I'm deep into mushroom research right now. Yesterday, I took a picture and put it on my Instagram. My whole desk was just filled with certificates of authenticity, labs, and samples of different kinds of mushrooms from one of the companies I'm considering working with. Haven't made any decisions yet, but looking for just, you know, different kinds of mushrooms, mushroom extracts, and, you know, especially ones that mix really, really well and, you know, mix well and taste great so that you can put them potentially in water, smoothie, whatever, stuff like that. And, yeah, mushroom testing is complex, you know. It is crazy. I don't know if anybody here knows anything about labs and how that works, testing for natural compounds, but wow. It's mind-blowing when you think you know something and then you just hear more and more detail about how this stuff actually works. It is crazy. But anyway, let me say hi to everybody. Marius, you were first one here. Congratulations. Let's see who else. CHOQWE. Cool name, by the way. Laura, good to see you as always. Let's see who else we got. Infamous Star 7. That seems to be new, so welcome. Sam, welcome. I've seen you plenty of times before. Muhammad, welcome again. EMP, it's a new name. JJ, cool. We got a decent turnout. We got about 15 people in here right now. It's pretty legit. Yeah. So, what's wrong with your voice? I don't know. Is everything coming through all right? Do I sound okay? Look okay? I'm not seeing any issues here with the transmission, so I think we're good. Infamous Star, I believe you are a new user, so welcome. And Starseer says, on my end, it sounds high-pitched. Weird. Well, I don't know. Very strange. Very strange. By the way, for those of you guys who actually did work, the sound is hacking a bit, but I hear every word. I sound like a cartoon. Wow, really? Again? This thing again? Oh, my God. You got to be kidding me. Okay, so just when I thought that we were back to normal, apparently I sound like Alvin and the Chipmunks to like half you guys or something. So, wow, weird. Well, maybe it's high pitched because of all the xenoestrogens, you know, maybe I've just been eating out of plastic, drinking out of plastic too much. And, you know, maybe my testosterone levels just aren't very good. Maybe I should take some extra CHOQ daily. What do you think? Would that be a good idea? Take some extra CHOQ daily. Oh my God. Are you considering adding frequency to your mushrooms? Not sure what that means, but if you mean by sound frequencies, light frequencies, that sounds cool. I'd love to know more about that. That sounds really interesting. Yeah. Yeah, there's this really cool. You guys know this guy named Nassim Haramein? Does that sound familiar to you guys? Here, let me see if I can find a link. Nassim Haramein. He's sort of a physicist, self-taught physicist. Check this guy out. And yeah, at this point, even though I sound high-pitched to some of you guys, you know, if it's good enough, I'm just going to keep rolling with it, because the only other way is to start a whole different video, and then I have to go back and mess with it later. So I'm just going to keep rolling. But Nassim Haramein, really interesting guy. And you guys are into like alt physics, alternative physics, very, very cool. He actually has this proprietary crystal technology that he and his group make. They're called ARC crystals, and they claim that if you run water over these crystals, that you can dramatically increase plant growth. And of course, you know, it's okay to be skeptical with this kind of stuff. They do actually have some research on it where they claim to actually do controlled studies where they're comparing control, right, where they water a certain plant with regular water, and they water a plant with water that has been passed over these specialized crystals that they produce, and claim to see, you know, significant increases in growth. So that's really interesting. So if any of you people, you know, are into gardening or growing your own food or anything like that, you might want to check out his work. The stuff they make, they're called ARC crystals. Yeah, and of course, as a lot of you guys know, you know, I used to be into orgonite. I used to make orgonite. I used to make, you know, stuff like this back in the day. You know, interesting, fun stuff here. Let's see if we can get some good focus on this. Here's one of the pendants I made a long time ago, designed based on a crop circle. It's actually 3D printed metal inside of the orgonite there. But yeah, I think that's, you know, that's probably the future. Incorporating more energetic techniques, using crystals and different frequencies, you know, stuff like that, into growing medicinal herbs, you know, health promoting herbs and superfoods. I think that's, yeah, pretty awesome. So for sure. All right. So let's see what else you guys saying here. Your crystals and healing. Yeah. And you know, regarding crystal stuff, you know, if you're the kind of person who actually feels energy, you know, and not everybody does. I happen to feel energy pretty intensely. When I put a quartz crystal like this Vogel style quartz in between my fingers like this, between my thumb and index finger, I literally can feel it immediately radiating all throughout my hand and my arm. This is just, yeah. Especially considering that it has a nice fine point. So it's stimulating just one specific kind of acupoint right here on the fingertips. But yeah, so, but if you guys are the kind of folks who are into that kind of thing, I definitely suggest you spend some time feeling different crystals and feeling the various vibrations from them. Yeah. I don't ever worry about this. I think I'm pretty sure I got this on eBay actually a long time ago. Yeah, this is actually a lab-grown quartz, and you know, if you're a purist, you might think that lab-grown is bad, right? But just like we can grow plants, we can also grow crystals. And actually, the lab-grown quartz, very, very powerful. Nothing wrong with lab-grown quartz, in my opinion. And in fact, the ARC crystals that Nassim Haramein's group makes, they're lab grown, but when they're grown, there are certain frequencies that are applied to them that supposedly have certain effects. So I'm not an expert in that area. So maybe what they do is not legit, but seems really interesting to me. Really interesting, yeah. So who's chalked up and ready to go? You guys chalked up? Who here, let me know in the chat, who here actually saw Stay Human? And by the way, I just wanted to let you guys know that it is back up, in case you didn't know. So for those of y'all who didn't see the original Stay Human transmission, let me just find the link to it real quick. It is back up and ready to go. Let me just see if I can find that while I'm talking here. So yeah, basically, oh, here, let me find this other thing too here. So I made a whole playlist for Stay Human. It's got a bunch of really cool YouTube videos in it. Why is it so hard to find right now? I'll come back to it later. But anyway, I do have a playlist I made that actually goes with it. And EMP has not seen Stay Human. All right, I got to find you the link. It's right here in my email, just to make it easy here. And let's find that for you. Here we go. Here we go. Here is the link. And let's just get this put in the chat here. All right, so there's a link to Stay Human. It got taken down shortly after I put it up. And the reason it got taken down was because I had a couple of videos that were TED Talks in there where I just kind of held up my tablet and showed the video. And apparently TED did not like that, so they cited it for a copyright violation. And so I had to go in and edit the video and just take out those 2 parts where I showed part of a TED Talk. So really it's only missing like 4 or 5 minutes out of almost 2 hours. So it's 95, 98% the original video. So thank God I didn't have to take out the other videos. But it is back up and ready to go. That is probably the most epic thing I've done on our YouTube channel so far. Highly recommend it. If you guys are interested in technology, AI, the singularity, transhumanism, all the weird, uncool uses of technology, and you want to know especially the underlying psychology underneath all of it, that's the video you definitely want to check out and share with your friends. Make sure you like the video and comment and all that stuff. But yeah, Sam says, Ted been sipping on the haterade. That's funny. I haven't heard that term in a while. I like that one. But yeah, EMP, if you haven't seen it, definitely check that one out. It's legit, I believe. Yeah. Let's see here. So you know what? Just for the sake of doing something different, I'm going to actually do prize number 1 right now. And I'm not going to do a random number generator. I'm going to do something slightly different. Just this one time. Just for something different. And I'm going to ask you guys, what is my favorite herbal tea to drink? What is my favorite herbal tea to drink? Whoever says it first wins prize number 1. What is my favorite herbal tea to sip on? Who can guess my favorite herbal tea to drink? Let's see what happens. I'm seeing some good guesses here. Muhammad, you are correct. Lemon Balm is right. Muhammad, you are the winner. Everybody give Muhammad a round of applause. Great job, Muhammad. Yes, you won. You won prize number 1, which is, because we're doing double prizes, Muhammad, you win 2 of any CHOQ product, or whatever 2 CHOQ products you want. And I did inform our lovely customer service team that it's double prize day. So Muhammad, you know the drill. You've won before. CHOQ at CHOQ.com, and let them know which 2 products you would like. That's awesome. We will do random number generator for number 2 to make it more fair, but just to mix it up, I thought maybe it would be nice to do a little trivia here. I don't think I've actually ever told you guys specifically what my favorite herbal tea is. I think one time I asked, what am I drinking now? Which that was Holy Basil, which is another fantastic one. By the way, Lemon Balm, amazing. I really, just public service announcement, everybody should be drinking Lemon Balm. I can't say all of what it does, because if I get too scientific, then it becomes technically illegal. Right? But what I can say is that Lemon Balm is very important for your immune system, excellent for immune system support, excellent to support a healthy inflammation response. By the way, Lemon Balm is featured in CHOQ Armor a standardized lemon balm extract. And by the way, standardized means that it has been lab analyzed to prove that it meets a minimum amount of potency. But yeah, lemon balm, delicious tea, excellent for the immune system, excellent for healthy inflammation response. Lemon balm also great for mood support. It supports healthy levels of the neurotransmitter called GABA. GABA is it's called an inhibitory neurotransmitter. I'm sure a lot of y'all have heard of it, right? Inhibitory, meaning it just has a calming effect on the nervous system. And what's great is a lot of herbal teas out there, they're just not really all that pleasant to drink. A lot of herbs are great for you, but they're nasty, right? Dandelion is great for you, but if you make a strong dandelion tea, if you don't put any honey in there, it's pretty bitter. It's not for everybody. I mean, I could handle it as a hardcore herbalist, but a lot of people would get mad. Lemon balm actually tastes good, and so you can convince your, mom or your dad to drink lemon balm, your grandma, your son, your daughter. A lot of people who have a palate that's very picky will still drink lemon balm. So maybe one day CHOQ will have some, maybe we'll sell our own lemon balm. We'll see, just as a loose leaf or something. But yeah, lemon balm is awesome. Really fantastic. Highly recommended. And yeah, Laura's saying, yeah, you can do lemon balm essential oils as well. Yeah. A long time ago at the beginning of the show, Marius asked, what is the best SPF natural? Honestly, I don't use sunscreen at all. I'm lucky because of my complexion. I don't really burn very easily. So yeah, I'm not an expert in the sunscreen area. I'm not the best person to ask. What I do know is that if you're going to buy a sunscreen, make sure you buy a brand that doesn't use any of the chemical sunblocks, only the mechanical ones. So there are certain nasty chemical ingredients in sunscreen, like oxy something benzone or something, and those are all bad. But the most natural one I've seen is just the zinc oxide. Zinc oxide as a sunscreen is great. Now, zinc oxide as a supplement is not great because it's not a very bioavailable form, but zinc oxide in a sunscreen, one of the most natural forms of sunscreen you can get. So whatever has zinc oxide, as long as it doesn't have a lot of other nasty, weird preservatives in it, should be fairly good. I can also say if you go to a place like Whole Foods, although, whether you want to shop at Whole Foods or not, but they do have this like sort of Whole Foods premium logo that has higher standards. Any of the sunscreens that have that logo, whole body premium, whatever, they will actually be free of a lot of the chemicals. So even though Whole Foods isn't, maybe everyone's favorite, they do have certain quality standards still that are fairly legit. Someone asks, is it okay to take amino acid supplements while using your CHOQ products? Really, that's completely up to you. There's no reason why that would be specifically a bad thing. I will say about amino acid supplements, some of them are very silly and worthless. It depends on what you mean by amino acid, though. So if you're taking a certain amino acid, like glutamine, for example, in a decent dose, that's one thing. It can be helpful. If you're taking one of those multi-amino acid things that's just like all the essential amino acids, that makes no sense at all because literally that's just the same thing as eating any protein. Any complete protein will have all the essential amino acids, So if those multi-amino acid supplements, those are one of the silliest things I've ever seen, and they do basically nothing. They're just a gimmick and a way of just making money, in my opinion. So, but if it's a single amino acid in a larger dose, then it actually might have some effects. Yeah. So things like, so I see you're doing tyrosine, glutamine, dextrolevophenylalanine. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that kind of stuff, that makes total sense. Yeah, it's those multi ones that are just really kind of hokey and silly. My opinion on sarsaparilla. I don't have a strong opinion on sarsaparilla. It's not one I've actually used a whole lot, so that's an interesting one. Sarsaparilla iron. Yeah, I don't know if it contains iron or not. Also, one of the questions would be when you make sarsaparilla tea, is the iron actually pulled out by the hot water extraction of making the tea or not? That's another great question, Somebody's asking about dosing on zinc. What I will tell you is, generally speaking, within the realm of supplements, 30 to 50 milligrams is a standard dose that you'll see on supplements. As far as what is considered too much, many practitioners would consider 100 milligrams to be an excessive dose. Yeah, you also have to take into account which molecular form you're talking about. If you're talking about a low bioavailability form like zinc oxide that doesn't work very well, then it's not going to absorb as well. So you'll get less out of it. So a higher dose would be worth less of a zinc oxide than some of the other zincs. But zinc wise, 100 by many accounts, 100 would be excessive. And with zinc, it's not necessarily about taking huge doses, just getting a little bit every day. And with some of the minerals, you do want to be a little bit more cautious. Is the general logic there. So yeah. All right. Yeah, and again, just boils down to complexion. This is me at my most pale. Actually, I haven't had sun in. It's been a little too long since I've had sun. So, I mean, very, very little in the last couple of weeks. I really need to get outside. So I get a lot darker than this when I tan properly. Yeah. Somebody asked what the best form of zinc is. Chelated forms are good. By the way, chelated for you guys just means it's attached to some sort of amino acid. Many zincs are great. Zinc orotate, zinc glycinate. There's zinc picolinate is fine. If you want to do a liquid zinc, one of your best zincs overall to get the most absorption is actually liquid zinc sulfate. Liquid zinc sulfate. So your liquid zinc sulfate, that's pretty amazing. The problem is it tastes horrible and it can upset people's stomachs. So, as a health coach, / practitioner, I will try to get some of my clients ideally taking liquid zinc sulfate. The problem is, however, that it's not good on the stomach. It tastes really weird. And it can be a hard sell. And I'll tell you at this point, most of the time, I don't even take liquid zinc sulfate. But if you really need zinc, it's a great way to go. And some of them are diluted more. And it's good. If you do liquid zinc sulfate, you want to use a nice big tall glass and put a dose in a bunch of water. Even something that tastes better like juice, is a good way to do it. Yeah. 50 milligrams zinc gluconate. Yeah, so 50 milligrams is typically considered the maximum dose that you're allowed to put in a supplement. Typically considered maximum dose there. Can you talk about Tomcat 100? It says 100x potency. Yeah, exactly. So basically, it's 100-to-1 extract, meaning that that 100 milligrams of this extract is equivalent to 10,000 milligrams of the plant material. Exactly. Yeah. And this particular one is made it's a proprietary process. It is very clean though. It doesn't use any solvents. It's a water-based process, and it is lab verified to make sure that each batch actually has a minimum amount of active compounds in it. Yeah. So within the Mr. R, within the herbal realm, basically what you do is to calculate that ratio. It's an input and an output simply of the amount of material. So, for example, if you start with 10,000 milligrams or 10 grams of dried material, and then you perform an extraction, right? And then you get rid of the liquid medium, and all you have left is the powder that's been extracted. And then if you start with 10,000 and you end up with 100, then as a mathematical ratio, that is a 100-to-1, right? And it doesn't mean that every single active compound is at exactly 100 times, right? It's not a perfectly linear thing. But generally speaking, it is equivalent to 100 times that amount of plant material is the basic idea. Yeah. All right. So, yeah. And Stacy, when you say you always thought chelated was the best, chelated, all that really means is that it's attached to an amino acid, right? Most of the time that's also true. But sulfated forms sometimes are very important. And zinc sulfate, very, very potent form, actually. Now, I will say there's other weird ones, by the way, just so you guys know. Stacy's asking about the rest of the shirt. Make Orwell fiction again, just so you know, Stacy. Yeah. But regarding the zinc thing, since you guys are into this, regarding minerals, I was going to say very important is actually, Brent, I think it's worse than iodine. I really do. I would much rather drink nascent iodine than liquid zinc sulfate. It is nasty. But yeah, but just so you guys know, public service announcement, iron-wise, I just got to tell you, there's certain really nasty forms of iron, and ferrous sulfate, right? So not all sulfates are good. Liquid zinc sulfate, great form of zinc. Ferrous sulfate, I'll type this in here for you guys, ferrous sulfate. Ferrous sulfate is a really nasty form of iron that is really rough on the stomach. It absorbs very poorly. In fact, it acts as a free radical in the body, right? Not good at all. Not a good form. When I used to work at an integrated pharmacy, when people would come in and ask for ferrous sulfate, I'd be like, I can give you ferrous sulfate if that's what you want to take, but let me show you a form of iron that's actually bioavailable and isn't going to cause constipation and become a free radical inside your digestive system. So not good. Speaking of free radicals, though, Apex glutathione, for those of you guys who love it, has been reformulated, as you know, right? It's going to have 3x bioavailability ginkgo in it, so it's going to be better for memory and focus. It's going to have also organic milk thistle extract, and we're working on it. Make sure you're on the email list. We'll have an announcement whenever it does come back out. And a lot of you guys are always asking about antioxidants. Many of our products are antioxidants. Shilajit has great antioxidant benefits. So of course there's ashwagandha. We go into a lot of detail on that in our deep dives on ashwagandha video that's on our YouTube channel. And many of the ingredients in armor as well. By the way, if you're looking for extra immune support as the weather cools off, CHOQ Armor is one of your best products. And by the way, I don't know if you guys know, but you can actually take higher doses of this when needed. So we do have a way where you can actually take temporarily, if you need additional immune support, you can actually take up to 6 capsules of armor for a short period of time, maybe for a few days to a week. And it's something that's really nice to have on hand. So somebody says, can you talk about the benefits of armor? Yes, armor is chiefly an immune support product. So it's just your daily immune support. It also helps to support healthy inflammation response. But it's got some really cool stuff also just for focus. That's not its main attribute, but it certainly can help with that. In fact, the Andrographis paniculata, organic Andrographis that's in CHOQ Armor, we try to get this in focus here so you guys can see, but Andrographis, that exact one actually from that company actually has some research on that extract for focus. It also could be that it's supporting a healthy inflammation response within the nervous system. That might be part of it. And then, of course, there is some lemon balm in there, just a little bit, not a lot, but a little bit of lemon balm, enough to just have a slight calming, healthy, calm focus type effect. And then, of course, it's also really good for supporting healthy histamine levels. So all that's legit, yeah. Somebody's asking, have you ever taken greens? Oh, yeah, greens are great. Absolutely, yeah. Is armor beneficial at 1 cap per day? Sure. I mean, you can take whatever amount. The recommended dose is 2 per day. So we would recommend just on the bottle 2 a day. But certainly you can take, if you want to take a half dose, that's totally up to you, Yeah. Also, by the way, so there's a 20x absorption quercetin in here. So it's called a quercetin phytosome, right? So it's the equivalent of taking 20 times as much quercetin. So it's like taking 10,000 milligrams of quercetin. Really awesome. Quercetin has other really cool benefits. I do have a CHOQ blog on quercetin. If you want to learn more, and that is the chief ingredient in armor, by the way. CHOQ blog, quercetin. Yeah. And let me just go ahead and link to you guys. If you want to read about quercetin or anybody else who wants to know more about it, check out my blog on quercetin. Pretty awesome stuff. It's got some other really cool properties. It's also a zinc ionophore. It helps to move zinc inside the cell, where it can do its thing, where it can support healthy immunity. It also helps to support mitochondrial biogenesis or mitogenesis. So quercetin basically can increase the genesis of new mitochondria. So very, very cool. But anyway, yeah, awesome stuff. Quercetin is fantastic. And if you want to learn more about quercetin and everything it does, obviously there's some things that it does that I can't tell you about legally. I'm just not allowed to discuss because that's just how the law works, right? We want to make sure we don't get in trouble. But if you want to do your own research on quercetin, you know, I invite you to find some reputable sources of information and look up everything that quercetin can do and why you might want to have it on hand. Yeah. How about Tomcat 100? Yeah, I'd love to talk about Tomcat 100. Absolutely. Yeah. So Tomcat 100, this guy right here. Let's just, here we go. See if I can get to focus properly. Yeah. So how many of you guys are taking Tomcat 100? Is this something that a lot of you guys are already on? Tomcat is very, very potent adaptogenic herb that you could say is similar to ginseng in some ways. It's from Malaysia. This particular one is wildcrafted in the Malaysian rainforest. They call it sometimes Malaysian ginseng. So if you're familiar with the idea of ginseng being excellent for things like energy and healthy focus, healthy mood, healthy kidney, healthy adrenal function, healthy libido, it has a lot of those same properties. It also does support healthy testosterone levels, and it doesn't mean that if you're a woman, it's going to just make you have a hairy chest and a beard all of a sudden. That's not how a lot of these herbs work. It's not just going to like throw you into testosterone overdrive, but it definitely does support healthy testosterone levels. A lot of men use it for that purpose. But it also supports healthy cortisol levels, so helps with stress hormones. Pairs really well with ashwagandha. This one right here. Ashwagandha has a lot in common with the Tomcat, actually. This one's fantastic and has a lot of research behind it. Also for healthy cortisol levels. So yes. Any thoughts on Juice Plus? I try not to comment on other brands usually because it's kind of bad form as a brand, so I won't really say anything. Juice Plus, I forgot about my opinion about them. It's been a while. I can't remember if they're one of the ones that's legit or not. But even if I had an opinion, I kind of probably wouldn't. I try not to share opinions about other brands because it's just considered bad form typically. So, but what I will say is just, buyer beware on a lot of this stuff, A lot of these companies too, they tend to talk a really good game, but do they have the labs to back it up? That's a big question, And Kenny says women also need a healthy testosterone level. This is true. Women can also be low in T. Men can technically be low in estrogen. Doesn't happen very often. It's much more common for women to be low in testosterone, actually, and who knows why that's happening. There's different theories as to why. I do know for sure that obviously we have a big problem with lots of chemical estrogens, XENO. I'm always talking about this with you guys, xenoestrogens, right? Big problem with xenoestrogens. They are no bueno. That just means human-made estrogen compound. It's basically just you find these chemicals in plastics, especially is a big one, right? But also pesticides. Atrazine can have these effects. And my favorite blog. Let me find my favorite blog on the topic here for you guys really fast. CHOQ blog, Worse Living. This is one of my favorites. It's called Hormones Under Fire, Worse Living Through Chemistry. And this is a really one of my most epic blogs that I've written for CHOQ. Definitely check this one out. It starts off, testosterone levels are plummeting and human hormonal health is generally the most precarious it's ever been. While many mainstream health-related websites remain unwilling to speculate on the reasons why, there's plenty of evidence to suggest that we know at least a few of the underlying factors. By the way, if you want to know more about testosterone, I actually do have another really awesome blog here called The Many Faces of Testosterone. You guys want to check out. But yeah, I go pretty deep on both of those two blogs. So if you're interested in the effects that chemicals have on our vitality, on our endocrine system, fertility, all that, and you want to know also more about testosterone, then either one of those would be a great choice. Yeah, but it's just crazy. The whole situation so crazy with the chemical soup that we find ourselves in. You know, pretty nutty. I tell you what. Yeah. So what else we got here? Somebody says, I had 0 testosterone at 48. My good friend recommended CHOQ Shilajit. I love it. Cool. Nice, Stacy. Glad you're enjoying the Shilajit. That's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah, Kenny, and everybody else, you know, I honestly, I don't have time to write blogs anymore. I used to. Just got too much other stuff going on. But we do have a correspondent, Jonathan, doing some blogs for us. But just go to CHOQ.com/blog. .com/blog, and you can search through all the different blogs. You know, I've got some really good ones on there, and the ones I write, when I was writing blogs, I took a long time. I took multiple days. They were not short. They had a lot of research, a lot of links. I've embedded YouTube videos in a lot of them. They're like pretty intense blogs, I gotta say, and I'm pretty proud. I really enjoy writing, so definitely check out some of the blogs and feel free to share those and pass them around. Let's see here. Somebody says something about something being a pyramid program. Are you talking about Juice Plus? Yeah. All right. I don't know. Yeah. Some of these companies, some of these multi-level market companies, you know, you do want to be a little bit wary of. I've noticed most of these companies that are multi-levels, they tend to like really talk up your their products, and they tend to be a lot of the time really generic and just overpriced and overhyped. It's really common, you know. So yeah. But one of the reasons I like working for CHOQ is because we like to use ingredients that actually have clinical research behind them and proper lab testing, which is awesome. I find that very refreshing in this industry. Alexi says, dude, you have the best blogs. I was just to kill time at my day job reading through your blogs. Totally fascinating. Love the depth you go into. That's awesome. Thanks, Alexi. It's nice because, you know, I'll write these things, and then sometimes I have no idea if anyone's reading them or not. And then once in a while, somebody will be like, oh, man, I read your blog. It's awesome. So thank you for saying that. That's really cool. I'm really glad to know that somebody out there, you know, knows about the blogs. That's fantastic. Yeah, very cool. Yeah. Yeah, I like to go really in depth. I really enjoy writing too. It's kind of one of my favorite hobbies. So, you know, yeah. Is it true that the ingredients in Tomcat was first research used by the Soviets to combat fatigue? No, actually, that's actually rhodiola, infamous star 7. And I actually do have I have a video I can refer you to where I actually talk about the Soviets studying rhodiola. It's this one right here. It's called Rhodiola rosea, the ultimate mood support herb ? Yeah, this was one of our first videos. I specifically talk about how the Soviets studied it because they studied a bunch of different ones, and they ended up landing on rhodiola as one of the best ones to support like healthy energy levels and focus and things like that for their troops, actually. And I made the point that, you know, a lot of people think that herbs are just for hippies, and there's nothing less hippie on the planet than the Soviet military, right? Like, if they're going to use an herb, it's going to work. You know what I mean? So, and that right there, I think is a pretty good endorsement. If you know, I can't struggle to find anybody more hardcore on the planet than the Soviet military, and the fact that they're studying herbs, you know, and seeing how much it can help them really says a lot about how potent some of these adaptogens are. And incidentally, of course, the product I'm talking about that contains our wild-crafted, lab-tested, standardized rhodiola extract is Action 2.0. So it's one thing to have rhodiola. It's something to have rhodiola that has standardized extract, is wild harvested in Siberia, has proper DNA barcoding done on it to identify it as the correct genus and species of Rhodiola rosea, and is actually tested for 5 different active compounds. So this is not just a regular rhodiola in here. And yeah, the rhodiola is one of the chief ingredients in Action 2.0. By the way, for you guys who take Action, you can take up to 6 capsules per day if you want to. 3 is the standard, but you can go up to 6. if you like to, for extra support. So, but yeah, Action 2.0, awesome formula, highly recommended. It is legit. I do take it on a regular basis. Of course, I take most of the CHOQ products. I do skip some days, but yeah, very legit. So speaking of legit, you know what? I think it might be time. It might be time to do our second giveaway here. So I'm going to give you guys a little more time usually. I'm going to give you a whole minute. So if you're not familiar, you guys get one entry, just one entry only, and give me a number between 1 and 100. Any number between 1 and 100. I'm starting the timer now. You have exactly 1 minute. In the chat, give me a number between 1 and 100, and whoever is closest to the randomly generated number wins prize number 2, which today, because we're doing double prize day, is 1 organic cotton t-shirt from CHOQ, 1 bag of organic well-crafted cacao beans, or sorry, organic cacao beans, not well-crafted, and then 1 of any CHOQ product. So extra giveaway there. Giving you guys some extra time today. You still have half a minute left. But again, remember, just 1 entry per person. And yeah, we'll see. And if anybody gets the number exactly right, I'm going to give you a second bag of cacao beans. If you get the number right on. If you're psychic enough where you guess the number exactly right, you're going to get 2 bags of cacao beans, not just 1. How about that? We'll see how that goes. All right. And we're officially done. So, done. That's it. Okay. So, that was the cutoff. The number is 96. So, let's see. Who's closest to 96? 96. What do you guys think? Can you guys help me out here? Mr. R has 91. Mr. R, there's no way did you win again? Oh my God, this is crazy. Did Mr. R win again? Mr. R, you are the most psychic person I've ever met. How many times have you won, Mr. R? Seriously, 4 times, 5 times, 6 times? You got to tell us, Mr. R, how many times have you actually won here? This is statistically bizarre because technically this is a randomly generated number, and Mr. R has won, I think, 5 or 6 times. I was talking to our customer service ladies the other day, or one of them, and about how certain people win, and she's like, yeah, Mr. R just keeps winning. I don't know how it's possible. And I'm telling them, like, it's literally impossible to cheat. You cannot cheat because I'm using a software program to generate a random number, you know, so it is impossible to cheat. So Mr. R, we know you're not cheating. So either you're a time traveler or, you know, either you have my house bugged. No, I'm just kidding, because you're guessing before it's even generated. Or you're just taking lots of shilajit and you're just psychic as all get out. So Mr. R, I do hope that you use your massive winnings responsibly and either, you know, give the products to somebody who needs them or take them yourself, you know, whatever, either way. But yes, Mr. R, you are the winner of prize number 2 today, and congratulations. And again, because we're doing double prize day today and tomorrow, Mr. R, that means that you have won not just a CHOQ t-shirt, not just a CHOQ bag of cacao beans, but also one of any CHOQ products. And yeah. Mr. R, if you could just teach other people how to be as psychic as you, Mr. R, do you have a process? Do you visualize? Do you meditate? Are you psychic in other ways? Because honestly, the odds of you winning this many times are astronomically low. If I actually did the calculation, like, let's say, for example, we only had 10 people each time, which we've had a lot more, right? Let's actually do, I'm going to do a quick calculation. Let's say we have on average 12 people per show, right? And this is show number 27. So 27 to the, let's see, is that right? 12 to, so you have a 1 in 12 chance, right? So 12 to the 27th power. Maybe I'm calculating this wrong. Either way, it's an astronomically low probability of you winning this many times, and I have to say I'm impressed. I'm impressed. So Congratulations. You guys give him a big round of applause there. That is absolutely amazing. I don't know how you do it, man. Yeah, Laura, you know, you are right, Mr. R. I don't know if you're a gambling person, but wow, crazy. Mr. R, do you have a technique? Can you share it? Do you do like a pineal gland opening exercise? What do you do? Do you have like an archangel tell you the numbers? I don't know. Either way, it's awesome. And again, really cool. Really, really cool. Laura wants me to do just a general run just to see who wins. Is that what you mean? I mean, we can do one just for fun. We've already given all the prizes away. I don't know if anybody wants to do that. Well, actually, it is getting a tad late, so I think I'm going to sign off, guys. But I'm going to be here tomorrow again at 3 o'clock. So if you've got the email, the link for tomorrow is there. But of course, you can always just go to the CHOQ YouTube. So I'll be back. I'm doing an early one tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Definitely come by. Again, double prizes next time. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. I know it's a bit early, but I do have somewhere I have to be a little earlier tomorrow. So, yeah. Anyway, and Seraphim, to answer your question, I think KSM is not as good as ours. We use the Sensoril, organic Sensoril. KSM is not bad. I still think ours is superior. Yeah. But anyway, so that's 3 o'clock Central tomorrow. 3 o'clock Central. And hope you guys have an awesome evening. Thanks for being here. Glad we got all of our technical problems figured out. And I will see you at 3 p.m. Central tomorrow. Much love, everybody, and stay human as always.